Hi there. I'm Jess Steinbach with ActualTech Media, and I want to thank all of you for joining us for this awesome Spotlight Series segment. Today, I'll be chatting with Tobin Shea, co-founder and CEO of MindWise Cybersecurity and Fraud Prevention. Tobin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's jump in. First up, Tobin, tell us a little bit about MindWise. Who are you? What solutions are you offering to your customers?
Sure. So MindWise utilizes our dark web surveillance engine to provide cybersecurity and fraud prevention solutions to our enterprise partners. These solutions range from data breach protection to credit and debit card fraud prevention and employee credential security.
Well, Tobin, I gotta be honest with you. I think for a lot of us, the dark web is kind of this scary shadow world that we're all aware of. We heard of it, we know it's out there, but we may not actually really understand what it is. Can you explain what is the dark web and its growing impact on security?
Absolutely. So we can start with the surface web, which is what most people use every day through Google searches. And that's only about 4 to 5% of the internet. Then we have the deep web, which is essentially everything else not searchable on Google or Bing. This includes things like videos, private emails, company databases, banking records, and more. And then finally, we have the dark web. This also makes up about 5 to 6% and is equally as big as the surface web. And this is a section of the internet that is not available through your typical browser like Google Chrome or Safari. You can only access it with special tools like Tor or I2P browsers. These focus on anonymity and make it very difficult for enforcement agencies to track user activities. So naturally, this has become home to a robust criminal underworld where anything imaginable is sold, and that can include, but is not limited to, drugs, social security numbers, credit cards, emails, hacked databases, and more.
I'm kind of, I didn't realize, when you said it was sort of the same, the dark web and the surface web, I had this image in my head of the upside down, like in Stranger Things, that you have these sort of flip sides of the same coin there.
Sure.
Talk to us a little bit about offensive versus defensive security. What is offensive security and why is it so important right now?
Sure. So we can start with defensive security. And in a word, defensive is reactive, while offensive security is proactive. Defensive security focuses on preventative measures and uses tools like firewalls and antivirus. They're very important tools, but I believe they're not sufficient on their own because it places so much emphasis on preventing a breach, which is good. But once that breach happens, companies are often ill-equipped to identify and respond to these breaches. In fact, a survey was conducted and they found about 82% of IT departments did not feel like they had adequate training or abilities to conduct, threat detection. So offensive security, on the other way, is exactly that. It's a lot of threat detection, but it comes in all shapes and sizes, but is actually largely limited from legal barriers. For example, in most cases, it's illegal to hack any computer, even if it belongs to a cyber criminal who is attacking you. However, there's still many effective techniques that center around assuming there's going to be an attack or breach. These are things like gathering threat intelligence, detecting breaches, gathering intelligence on techniques used by cyber criminals, and then employing defenses that are tailor-made for those techniques, and potentially hampering the opponent's system as well without outright, breaking the law and hacking them.
So as we talk about information gathering, can you tell us what AI risk scoring is and why was adding the AI so essential to risk analysis?
Sure. So I think the biggest improvement of adding AI is, a computer is going to work faster than a person in most cases. So rather than a person, taking in data and trying to sort out what's going on, a computer can do it 24/7, day or night, and is usually able to do it quicker than a person. So essentially, the AI is going to look at what's happening inside a system, see what kind of data is inbound and outbound, and what ports, how this data is getting routed, and it's going to make a determination. Is this within the parameters of normal operation, or does this seem like something's wrong? And if something's wrong, it's going to score it as dangerous and potentially, freeze whatever is happening.
Okay, that sounds extremely useful. How accurate is it? How accurate is AI risk scoring?
That's the thing. So there's lots of different companies doing different AI solutions. And of course, all of them say their solution is better than the others, their risk scoring is better. So I suppose it's really a case-to-case basis on each company. But in reality, we can look at the whole situation. We can actually see that it's not perfect. That there are lots of cases where things are going under the radar, despite the newest monitoring techniques. And that's why companies like MindWise, we are focusing on dark web surveillance, where we can actually see what's on the dark web. There's no question about it. We're looking at it. It's there. So we've kind of taken the guessing or estimation and risk scoring out of the equation. That being said, it's still a powerful tool, and I believe it will continue to improve over time with more data.
Okay, so MindWise is stopping fraud before it's even attempted. That almost sounds too good to be true, is it?
No, in fact, it's very possible. So hackers, what they have done is, they're excellent. They're innovators, and they're excellent technicians with the computer. And the reality is they're going to find a chink in the armor. That's just what they do. They're going to, as we improve our defenses, they're going to improve their attacks. And oftentimes, hackers, they utilize social engineering. They utilize human nature against us. They send phishing emails or try to trick you by sending something that says, hey, it's your boss, can I have your password? So we actually took something right out of their playbook, and we're using human nature against the hackers, namely that they want to make money. So when they steal credit cards or databases, employee credentials, emails, they want to sell those to make money. And in order to do that, they have to list them on the dark web. We're able to monitor and surveil that, and then we can notify the company at risk. If it's a bank with a credit card, we can let that bank know that their credit card is compromised long before a cyber criminal has purchased it and intends to use it for an illicit transaction.
I love that. I love using the same, the human element in the reverse. That's awesome. Exactly. Well, Tobin, this has been such an interesting discussion. Thank you so much for being here with us and telling us a bit more about MindWise.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And for our audience, if you would like to explore some of what we chatted about today, learn a little bit more, visit mindwise.io, check that out. You can read some more information, book a demo. Highly recommend heading to that site. And hey, if you want to see more Spotlight Series segments like this, head to the ActualTech Media YouTube channel at youtube.com/ActualTechMedia. There's a whole playlist for you there with more awesome videos like this one. So head on over, start exploring. And that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you to Tobin for sharing some awesome ideas, and a very special thank you to all of you for watching this Spotlight Series segment. I hope we'll see you all again soon.